Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, and today I'm here as a partnered content creator for Fat Shark to present to you the new Arbitrator class that just dropped in Darktide, alright? Here's what I have to say about it. The Arbitrator is amazing. You have a Cyber Mastiff with you, and for those who know Warhammer 40k lore, you are essentially an Adeptus Arbites leash master, okay? You'll be commanding your Cyber Mastiff, which you can literally see right there, and it is invulnerable. It'll pounce on enemies, it'll rip and tear them, you can enhance it through your talent trees, and, well, basically it is fantastic. So I'll be going through the skills, alright? I'll be showing you a little bit about the lore, and of course, there will be gameplay. So if you're interested in that, then enjoy this video, because I'm gonna go through the whole thing with you. Let's get started, shall we? Okay, ladies and gents, before we can actually take a look at the Arbitrator, first we need to understand a little bit about the lore. Who are the Adeptus Arbites, and what do they do? Well, let me walk you through it. First and foremost, they're judge, jury, and executioner, alright? This image might look very familiar to you. The Adeptus Arbites is the Adepta of the Adeptus Terra that serves as the galactic police force of the Imperium of Man. They are tasked with enforcing the imperial law, the Lex Imperialis, which is different from the Lex Atoma, which you would have heard from the Psyker's voice lines in Darktide. Okay, Lex Atoma is like planetary, I think. Please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I would love to be corrected if I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. And the Lex Imperialis is like the overall law for the entire empire, okay? They have been granted the right by the High Lords of Terra to serve as judge, jury, and executioner for any citizen that breaks the law. Due process? Non-existent, okay? So don't even think about that. Now, let me tell you a little bit more, okay? These guys are seriously badass. If you get a beating from a shock mall, you know you messed up, okay? What is the Lex Imperialis? Well, the Lex Imperialis is ultimately based on the theocracy that is the Imperium of Man. Okay, the Lex Imperialis holds that the God Emperor rightfully expects service and obedience from every human being in the galaxy. The actual law is like, I think they have a whole planet's worth of stuff that comprises the law, but essentially, okay, Big E himself, all right, the God Emperor rightfully expects service and obedience from every human being in the galaxy, and within the Imperium, that expectation is made manifest through the scripture of his laws. To break the Lex Imperialis is not only to disobey a secular law of humanity's galactic government, it is to violate the immaculate and divine moral order, okay? So this violation of that divine order is present in every crime that they investigate, and once this is understood, the need for harsh methods and stern penalties becomes clear. For the Arbites, there is no such thing as a petty crime, okay? That being said, they don't go around investigating murders, thefts, and all that. That's actually in this little bit here. Okay, in dire situations, it falls to the Adeptus Arbites to defend the Imperium's rights and prevent the whole subsector, all right, or whole subsectors from going rogue for generations or even permanently. They are not exactly a galactic police force because they don't really have interest in petty crimes. Okay, like theft, murder, tax evasion, these are left to the enforcers. Okay, which the Psyker was a part of, if you choose that particular voice, okay, before their happy little accident. And the Adeptus Arbites are there to keep order on a far greater scale than the enforcers. In fact, if needed, they can take control of local law enforcement because they are a much higher authority. They're better trained, they've got better equipment, all right? They are there to root out corruption, maintain the imperial tithe, which is in the Arbites lore and Darktide as well, and to guard against witchery, okay? So they can be a little bit religious and fanatical, which doesn't bode well for the poor Psyker. He's got enemies all around him. Or her, you know, sad, right? But anyway, this is the lore of the Arbitrators. This is who you are. You are the guy that gets called in when everything is foobar. It's already terrible, but don't worry, because you see, I have come up with a theory. Listen. Crime prevention means to stop criminals. There can be no crime if there are no criminals. So your orders are clear. Kill every single heretic, all right, in Tertium, and there will be no crime. If there's no crime, there is no need to investigate because all the criminals are dead. Okay, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Now let's carry on and take a look at the Arbitrator's talents. Okay, ladies and gents, it is time now to take a look at the talents of the Arbitrator. Okay, equipment and all that kind of stuff I'll go through in a little while, but let's talk about talents first. All right, look at him. Look at how badass he looks. And of course, the Cyber Mastiff. All right, left-hand side of the tree. Sorry, my finger disappeared off reality there. But the left-hand side of the tree, okay, is more to do with working together with your hound. All right. The middle section is more about range firepower or going as a lone wolf. All right. Loner zealots. That's your calling right there. And the right-hand side of the tree is more about being that bulwark for your team. All right. It's about being the guy with the shield. Now, let's take a look at these talents. I'm not going to do a deep dive into each of these. I'm just going to give you a taste of all this. But don't worry, because there will be a deep dive later on. All right, I will prepare a separate video that contains a deep dive into these talents and what all of them do. And you can look forward to that at another time. All right, so here's a taste of what they have. Left-hand side of the tree, like I said, is, for example, this passive, No Escape. Extra damage and movement speed on elite or specialist kill. You've got the Razor Jaw Augment, allows your Cyber Mastiff's pounce to apply bleed stacks to enemies that it knocks away. Target neutralized, replenishing toughness instantly and 10% over a duration of time. Sounds familiar, right? Okay, you can even restore toughness when you're next to your Cyber Mastiff. The middle tree is all about extra range damage when reloading. You replenish toughness on a close kill. Every one stamina you spend replenishes 15% toughness over 3 seconds. Hammer of Judgment is on the right-hand side. Increase melee attack speed when you're attacking 3 or more enemies for 3 seconds. Replenish toughness on a staggering melee attack. And later on, you can make a lot of stuff count as stagger. Retaliatory Force, okay, you can reduce your block cost. On perfect block, you gain extra damage and attack speed beautifully for 8 seconds. When you block, you replenish 15% toughness over 3 seconds. On perfect block, instantly replenish 10% toughness. Man, it's so good. 10% increase melee range and toughness damage reduction can be taken here. If you've got the points, grab all 3, they're great. Now, your blitz abilities are remote detonation. You can cause an explosion at your Cyber Mastiff's location. The explosion is fairly small, but there are uses for this, which you will probably see in the gameplay section if I get the chance. Okay, you've got the Voltaic Shock Mine, where you will throw a Voltaic Shock Mine that activates as it lands. For 15 seconds, it will electrocute all enemies within 5 meters. 5 meters is an actually very small range, so just be aware of that. Last is the Arbites grenade that will explode after a short delay, but I'm pretty sure it actually just explodes right away. You can have a max of 4, and it's an augmented version of the Arbites grenade that you get as a default. All right, so if you like grenades, go for this. If otherwise, you can go for the shock mines. This one doesn't say how many charges, but it's actually 2 charges. And the remote detonation is on a cooldown, so you don't have to pick up grenades. If you wanted to go for this tree, then it's because you are essentially saying, I want what is effectively more single targets on elites and specialists, and I'm willing to forego crowd control with the grenade, which I am more than willing to forego, to be honest. Okay, after that, you get 25 toughness because that's needed to connect to everything else. All right, in terms of your auras, there is part of the squad where the Cyber Mastiff counts toward unit coherency, and in addition, you and your allies in coherency gain an extra 7.5% toughness damage reduction. The middle is you and your allies get additional 7.5% reload speed, and the one that I like is Breaking Descent. You and your allies in coherency deal an additional 10% damage versus staggered enemies, which is very easy for you to do with the right setup. So you're effectively debuffing every enemy by staggering them. They take 10% more damage. Your whole squad can wipe them out. All right, you are a team player. Now, fun fact, I've taken this perk here for the Cyber Mastiff, whereby your Cyber Mastiff electrocutes enemies that it attacks for 5 seconds. You've got Imposing Force, where you can gain damage resistance for elite or specialist kills. On the right-hand side, melee weak spot hits make the enemy count as staggered for 4 seconds. Suppression Force, staggering enemy makes them deal minus 20% damage, lasts 5 seconds. Do you see why this is so good? This is what I'm loving about it. The simple fact that you can stagger and stop enemies from dealing damage, make them take more damage. It's beautiful. All right, you have to take this one, so the plasteel plate, so another 25 toughness right there. All right, then your keystones here, you've got 2 sets of keystones, one down here and one up here. This one is for your Cyber Mastiff. The loner one is in the middle, so lone wolf, you'll gain toughness damage reduction, increase attack speed, increase damage, extra charges on your blitz abilities, and you replenish a charge of your blitz ability every 60 seconds, okay? Unleash Brutality is where your Cybermastiff will prioritize elite and specialist enemies. This is what I really like, because not only does it deal plus 25% damage to them, this will really help you actually take down those elites and specialists, which is fantastic. All right, on the right-hand side, though, your Cybermastiff prioritizes range enemies and deals 50% more damage to them. I didn't take this because my character is still only at Malice on this particular account, but later on, if this becomes more useful, I might take this because your dog will just go around hunting all these things that are shooting at you. But range enemies can sometimes fire from a very great distance, and your dog won't go all the way over there unless you've literally told it to hunt an elite or specialist over there, okay, which can be a little bit difficult to do sometimes. So I chose to take this instead because I find that once I get into close combat, my dog is dealing enough damage to kill off most enemies, so it's all good. All right, I love the Nuncio Aquila. There are two other abilities, the Castigator Stance, which will basically allow you to take a stance where you have 15% extra movement speed, 80% reduced damage taken, 100% reduced movement speed penalty from actions, but you cannot sprint, just so you know. All right. It lasts for 10 seconds and the base cooldown is 45 seconds. So it will actually be on cooldown for 35 seconds because it starts cooldown as soon as you enter the stance, if I'm not wrong. Okay. The Nuncio Aquila, okay, lasts 20 seconds, but doesn't tell you the cooldown. That being said, the cooldown appears to be close to 45, 50 seconds, roughly. I didn't time it exactly, but that's how it seemed to me in the field. Still, you will get it back pretty quickly, and I'll show you why later on. But the Nuncio Aquila will be this Vox speaker that essentially replenishes 7.5% toughness per second, gives you plus 30% suppression, 30% impact. You are slowdown immune, you are suppression immune, you have 25% less recoil, and you're immune to interruption during alternate fire. Enemies within the radius of the Nuncio Aquila will also take extra damage. All right? Then what you want to do is take Inspiring Recitation. Allies affected gain 30% toughness damage reduction, 30% revive speed, and 10% attack speed. This is really great for when you have to hold out. If you have to hold out in a particular area, this is what I like to use it for. Okay, the last one is Break the Line. This one is more active. Think of it like the Zealot Charge. It's on a 20-second cooldown, but you will step forward and bash, causing high stagger to enemies in front of you, and you gain 25% damage and 50% impact for 6 seconds. All right. Also with this is that you can increase your Cybermastiff's damage by 50% for 12 seconds after using your combat ability. Considering the fact that your Cybermastiff is always attacking, this is pretty damn useful. All right. You can also replenish toughness for every elite hit and all that kind of stuff, which is very similar to the Zealot. So it's your choice what you want to take, but I like the Nuncio Aquila. I find it very useful for objectives because it's a simple take and hold kind of thing. All right. After that, like I said, middle tree is all to do with range. Right-hand side of the tree is all to do with more stagger and bashing. I'm just going to give you a little taste of the keystones. All right. The keystone is Terminus Warrant for the middle tree. Range attacks grant stacks of melee justice for each enemy hit. And while you have stacks of melee justice, you gain increased melee damage and impact. Melee hits grant stacks of range justice. All right. Is this sounding familiar? Because I think this will sound very familiar to something the veteran also has, right? Melee hits will grant stacks of range justice, and range attacks, excuse me, will remove 1 stack for, you can have up to 30 stacks, removes 1 stack per enemy hit, same as their melee justice. And while you have stacks of range justice, you gain 15% range damage, 50% range cleave, and 50% suppression. Okay. On the left-hand side, Execution Order, which I personally like. It's more for your Cybermastiff, but you will basically periodically mark elite specialists and bosses for Mercy Sanction. Killing a marked enemy replenishes 15% toughness. Your Cybermastiff gains 150% Cybermastiff damage for 8 seconds after attacking a marked enemy. You gain 15% damage and 10% attack speed for 8 seconds after killing a marked enemy. All right, but take note that for the Cybermastiff bonus, it has to be the one that attacks the marked enemy. Either of you can kill a marked enemy and you will gain the damage and attack speed bonus, which is fantastic, by the way. All right. Now, right-hand side of the tree is called Forceful. What this will do is that staggering hits and blocked attacks grant stacks of Forceful. All right. This lasts for 5 seconds and stacks up to 10 times. Each stack gives you an extra 5% impact and plus 2.5 damage resistance. It's a tanking tree. You will remove a stack on damage taken. Okay, so take note. You remove your stacks on damage taken. Now, there's a lot of other stuff that you can do. While at max stacks and for 3 seconds afterwards, you gain stun immunity. Okay, your perfect blocks can block all attacks. Arbites Vigilant, on combat ability, you can gain extra strength for each stack, but it will last 10 seconds, but remove all stacks. You can replenish 0.5 toughness each second per stack, which is ridiculous. Judicial Force, stagger nearby enemies upon reaching 0 stacks or 10 stacks. There's a 5-second cooldown for each, but this is... If you want to be a tanking force of your team, you can go with this. Targets acquired is that while at max stacks for 3 seconds afterward, you gain 10% attack speed, 50% cleave. All right? So you can sort of use them in order together with like Break the Line to do some serious damage. All right? You will gain strength for each stack, all this kind of stuff. Then you can gain your stacks back and then, you know, gain more attack speed and cleave and all that. So you can turn this into a cycle together with Break the Line. It works really well there. But I personally chose the left-hand side of the tree. Why did I choose the left-hand side of the tree? Okay, here's why. Justified measure. Every successful attack, I gain 3% damage. This stacks up to 5 times. That's 15%, right? Arbites Revelatum. 15% damage for 5 seconds after a successful dodge. At higher levels, you're going to be dodging all the time. Permanent 15%. Rapid movement. Sliding increases your sprint speed by 5% for 5 seconds. Kills restore 5% stamina. Now, this has a 0.5 second cooldown, a 7.5 second cooldown, but the fact that kills restore 5% stamina is freaking great. I love this because you'll always have stamina to push, block, whatever, right? Zealous Dedication. 2% critical strike chance on a kill. 8 stacks last 10 seconds. 16% extra critical strike chance. That ups your damage by quite a bit. Serrated Maw. Your Cyber Mastiff applies 6 stacks of Brilliance on attack. Great for bosses. Great for elites. Great for specialists. Great for everything. Even better. Execution Order. Already talked about this, right? But here's the thing. Plus 50% cooldown regeneration for 8 seconds after a marked kill. Another crazy way of doing this, if you don't like Nuncio Aquila, is to go get Break the Line plus Kill Order, right? But you'll need 1 extra point for Condemnation as well, because if you don't have that, you might suffer. Actually, you need to invest 4 points here, because you will not need this. Okay, you will not need Targeted Brutality, but you will need at least Enrage, so that you can increase the distance of Break the Line. But anyway, once you have all this, right? Coupled together with this and the cooldown regeneration, you can break the line pretty darn often. The other one that I really like is Not Far Behind. 10% movement speed and 10% damage for 5 seconds after pounce. Your hound pounces a lot on targets. This is really useful. The extra movement speed and damage is really good. And last but not least, Efficient Killer. You kill a marked target, 10% critical chance and plus 25% critical damage on marked kill. How can you say no to all that damage while also up here having plenty of blocking? You can literally wade through your enemies and not give a damn. All right? This is the talent tree of the Arbitrator. If this is not making you excited, then yo, I don't know what to say. All right? Now, the last thing on our list is to actually take a look at gameplay after we take a look at some of the unique weapons for this class. So let's take a look at the unique weapons. My personal favorite, Shock Maul and Suppression Shield. This thing is beautiful. All right. This thing, what it can do is, do you see the back here where it's got this little battery? This battery charges up. Blocking attacks charges the shield's energy. Energy is also passively gained slowly over time. If enough energy is stored, the special action consumes part of the energy. At max stacks, you can use this ability twice, and it will perform a high-power electrical flash. It will stun and suppress enemies in a cone in front of the shield. Horde of enemies? No problem. Stun them all. It's beautiful. I love it so much. All right. The attack chain is also strike down, vanguard, strike down, strike down. So if you want to talk about pattern, right, for this particular weapon, if you're dealing with hordes of enemies, then use your heavy, which is a shield bash. This, chain back to the heavy. There you go. There you go. And this is your group attack chain. All right. If you need to do the single target chain, it's something like that. Okay. This is the single target chain. But the Shock Maul and Shield, basically, it makes you feel like an Ogren, although you're not one. The other unique weapon is, of course, the Arbites Shock Maul, which I believe is unique to them. This thing operates exactly like a shock ball, except that you can use your electric attack without any activation. Pressing the special attack button will deal a lower damage attack that will have very high stagger and electrocute the enemies, all right? So that is pretty darn swagalicious, and I love it, okay? Shock ball and suppression shield is my go-to, however, because it allows you to block a lot of stuff. In terms of stats, I think I'll rather go through that in a build video, so I just wanted to showcase this for you. For range weapons, you've got the Exterminator shotgun, as well as a Subductor shot pistol and riot shield. Okay, the shotgun will make you feel like you are the embodiment of the law. Why? Because it does a lot of damage. All right, please don't hit Carapace though, because it's not designed for that. However, at close range, most things are just going to absolutely die, including Ragers. Okay, so don't hesitate. Now, keep in mind that this is not at max difficulty level, but even at max difficulty level, you should have no trouble absolutely murdering most creatures with this. Okay, so do take note of that. The Exterminator shotgun is excellent, and furthermore, its special shot will load the weapon with one special shell that gives the next shot electrocution and stun properties. So you can use that on certain targets if you really, really need to stun them. Okay, you can give them a little bit of electrification right there. Yeah. As far as I know, it also penetrates. So you can also use this in a twisted way for crowd control. All right, if you really, really need to. All right, this forms a great and easy method of crowd control right there. Okay, so you can do something like that with the Exterminator shotgun. Absolutely fantastic. Last but not least, Subductor shot pistol and riot shield. Okay, this thing, I love it. While you hold the shield up, you can block enemy attacks, but you can also, by pressing and holding the special action, you can actually attack enemies with the shield. It's not a lot of damage, but it does work, and you can hit multiple enemies at once. Let me just show you that. All right. So you can hit multiple enemies at once if they get too close. If you just tap the button, it's a push, doesn't really deal damage, but you can still knock enemies back. However, this gun is really great because you can aim for the head, and in general, you will hit a fair enough spread. Also, although it's a, well, shot pistol, you can basically reload all the shells at once because you've got a speed loader with this. So, this gun can function pretty well in most situations. However, I personally prefer the shotgun. Also, if you get caught mid-reload and you do the shield animation, you can still block with the shield, but you won't finish your reload until you're completely done. Okay? So take note of that. This is their other unique weapon, but if you ask me, I very much prefer the Exterminator shotgun. For obvious reasons, I really, really like what this gun can do. It's so awesome, and it looks awesome in your hands. All right, I love to just pull it out, and something gets too close, then just bam, straight away, you know? That's the kind of gun I prefer. So that is the new unique weapons for the Arbitrator. If there's any that I missed, don't worry. There'll be more deep dives later on. This is just a taste, just a first look, okay? Now, on to the gameplay section, because I'm sure you guys want to see this in action. If you like this video, then please feel free to like, share, and subscribe not only to my channel, but subscribe to the Fat Shark main channel as well. Get your news about Darktide, get all the upcoming info. And of course, sometimes they post some cool stuff up there as well. All right, shameless advertisement right there. Now, let's get on to the gameplay. I'm going to try and show you some good gameplay of all this shenanigans. Okay, what up, ladies and gents? You will notice a slightly different appearance. I just managed to have a shower, and here I am getting some gameplay footage for you guys. So the Arbitrator class, I think it's better if I, yeah, okay. So it's way better if I just slide with my shotgun out. So assuming you're running the same build as me, sliding with a shotgun will be a lot better for your stamina. Okay. Okay.
That barrel's going to explode!
Now, the most important thing with the Arbitrator is you are the front line. At least that's the way I play him. As soon as I see an enemy, I will send someone to pounce, detonate. Now, your electric thing, actually, the electric charge detonation, funnily enough, as far as I can tell, it has a larger area than the actual animation. So it can even ignite barrels, so be careful with it, as you just saw right there. Okay, but do use it if the creature that's pounced on is not dead. Alright, you can use it to get an advantage. Or if you pounce a creature in the middle of a horde, that's a great way to get an advantage as well. There we go. Took out the Scab Bomber and the Rager. Love it. The Maulers here, though, they're done. Okay, there you go. My little drug-fueled haze is done.
I do believe you have grasped my concern. It's overloaded. Do just stand there.
Okay, I'm on my way.
Begin the sequence
Go, Houndy. Take care of those things. I like that you can just control it from a distance. There we go. Touch and carry on. Oh, lol barrel. There you go, good boy. Detonation. I do so love barreling my way through these guys. Now the Hound will automatically attack, so make sure that you know, you just give it some free reign and some free space. As long as the Hound's got some free space, it'll handle most things for you. Okay, let's pull that warning lever and we're good. Can't believe I took damage on Malice. Feel so sad now. This is unbelievably sad for me now. There we go. Now you can't target something through the wall, so just be aware of that. There we go, Slay. Okay, power transfer completed. Lovely. Send your doggo out as much as you can. If necessary, you can drop the speaker. Wait, did I take damage again? Oh my god. Shaming myself so much right now. Oh man.
You should consider yourselves honored.
There we go, beast down. There we go. That hound is dead. Would you please? Please be another boss? Oh, hell yeah. That's the fun stuff.
Spirit awaken. Coax it forth.
There we go.
Stand a chance against the Lex.
Someone tried you, well.
Well, okay. Apparently, even a demon stands no chance against the law. That is the true meaning of judge, jury, and execution, I'll tell you that much. Whoa. Excuse me.
105. Bring it home.
The diagnostic hymnal shows an error somewhere above you. Investigate.
Good work.
I see a gunner.
Well, cool, guys. Nobody saw me use a stim on Malice. We're all right.
The old girl doesn't want to wake up, does she?
But, you know, honestly, I'm just really enjoying the Arbitrator. I wanted to get higher difficulty stuff for you guys, but I wasn't able to get that far enough, but while in between all the filming and stuff, but I really do like the Arbitrator. Honestly, what I like most is just the fact that you control the dog separately, send him out, do your job, while you take care of other things.
An unavoidable hazard, but readily rectified.
Come on. There we go. Okay, fully freed. That's right.
Function is restored. You may proceed to the Foundryplex's Sacrarium.
You'll doubtless be delighted to know I soothed the auto defenses.
The shotgun does present a bit of a problem at range, but if you really struggle with range, there are other options that you can pick, obviously, to deal with that. Still, I love the shotty. It's just too cool.
Production of Mobian steel.
I shall hie me away to the control room, please, at once, dear lady. Team, would you start things moving?
Ammo crate. Mid-station! Healer! Take them down!
As you can see, the Doggerino takes care of the Maulers. I don't have to worry about it. And I just focus on overriding. I love the music. I love this music. It's so good every time. Yes! Stagger them all. You're getting overwhelmed. No, 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 no. I'm overwhelming them. Good stuff.
The booster is too much for the capacitors. Kindly recalibrate them.
Okay. Here we are. Step 1. Sir. That's not very kind of you.
Set and running! The machine is corrupted, like everything in this place.
Okay, that's a better one. Oh, man. Damn right. Come on, up you get. Out of my way, mutie. Sir, you are being helped. Do not resist. Your mind? Thank you, Doggerino. I love letting my Doggerino handle stuff, but oh my god, that mutie's getting real close. Ooh, nasty. I mean, I had the feeling.
Surrender! The Lex has found you!
They really had to have the symbol in that one particular spot, huh? Okay. Excusez-moi.
Transmission lines are overloaded. You need to
Dear sir or ma'am, please do not. Out of my way.
coming in!
Oh, flip the circuit breakers. Alright, whoops. Sorry. I forgot what I was supposed to do. I will need a moment. Circuit breaker 1. Circuit breaker 2. Excusez-moi. Three. Four. Five. Okay, start the conveyor belt. That dog. Not like my dog. My dog's a good dog.
Behold, loading steel. Rejoice, varlets, for you have done holy work this day. The war for Atoma is forever changed.
Yeah, that worked out rather well, if I do say so myself. You run along home. I have a few things to see.
Storm surface inbound. Rigging for pickup.
About time. I
Excuse me. Now then. Come along. Time to aura walk.
Can't feel. Come on.
You can't feel your... Get healed, bot. Alright. Well, that was fun. Anyway, I hope that helps to show you guys exactly how the Arbitrator fights. It's an absolutely lovely class, and I hope you enjoy it. Catch you all on the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this first look at the Arbitrator. Alright, ladies and gents, that was a little preview of the Arbitrator. I hope you guys enjoy the class. Make sure you wishlist this on Steam right now. The link is in the video description. Thank you so much for watching. Please enjoy the Arbitrator when it comes to Darktide on the 23rd of June. Alright, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too.